Hey folks, how's it going? You know, many people have actually, one of the most crazy or the most hate I've ever gotten on any of my videos, yeah, I do get hate, a lot of hate mail, a lot of hate messages, was actually when I test drove this car. What am I driving? I'm driving the 2005 Proton Waja 1.6. Now this was the first generation of the Waja when it had first come out, and it had a Mitsubishi powertrain. Now this is apparently the, not me say, apparently one of the most sought after Wajas is the one with the Mitsubishi powertrain, engine and gearbox, 1.6 liter. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's the 4 something GP 461. Tell me in the comments. I'm really bad at engine numbers. Anyway, yeah, so if you scroll down through some of my videos and you go back down way back, I did actually do a video on this actual Proton Waja. Now the thing is, a lot of people, they thought that, oh wow, it's gotten really dark here, I'm going through a tunnel. Yeah, anyway, there we go, I'm visible again. So a lot of people thought I was actually doing a used car review on somebody else's car, and I was absolutely slamming it. But no, this is actually the family car. This car has been in my family for 15 years. So yeah, 2005 to 2020. My math is horrible, but yeah, that's what, 15 years. Yeah, it's a 15-year-old car, one owner since new, and it's never really given much trouble in terms of actual, you know, the mechanical and electrical part of it has never really given much trouble. Why I didn't like this car was because I think Proton skimped on a lot of things with this car. A lot. You can tell a lot of the components were actually supplied by the lowest bidder. The lowest bidder won. There's no other way to put it. You know, the components in this car, okay, certain components, not all of it, I mean, it's not all bad. This steering wheel has actually survived 15 years. The leather, it's a half leather and half wood, has actually survived 15 years. So I'm very impressed, because most of the used cars that I've gotten in the past, this is a little bit sing it, there we go, is that better? So anyway, a lot of the used cars that I've gotten in the past, one of the main things that has actually, oh, and the air conditioning, let's we don't need to talk about Proton air conditioning. Yeah, it's bloody excellent, and that's actually survived quite well as well. But anyway, like I was saying, a lot of the used cars that I've gotten, the steering wheels are not in the best condition. They're pitted, they're torn, the leather's torn. The one surprise car that nobody knows about, yeah, the steering on the leather on the steering is gone completely. But this one's still okay. I've had to change the power window switches because these are the most ridiculous power window switches in the world. They're tiny and they're hard to operate. I don't know why they came up with this. The ones in the Wira were so much better. They should have just stuck with that. And why I'm driving this now, it's because I've forgotten that I needed some stuff done to this car. And very recently I realized that, hey, the paint, there's certain parts of this car, because my dad was using it, and for, you know, just to clarify now, I've not left him carless. He's actually using the Charade and he loves it. I mean, who doesn't like it? So I've let him use it, and then when my mom needs to use it, he's going to use my Corolla. So, you know, we're good on that. And I've taken this car back into my care, and I realize now that it's actually a very nice car to drive. I actually love driving this car. Now, very capable in terms of ride and handling. I think Proton did an excellent job in terms of ride and handling. Whatever they learned from Lotus, or whatever their own R&D did for this car, was brilliant. And I'm not the only one, because Con's got a Waja as well, and he loves the way it handles. I mean, it's comfortable, and yet there's a modicum of sportiness when you hit the twists and turns. Oh yes, it's an auto. I didn't get the manual. His is a manual. This is an auto, and but the gearbox has been fine. It's never given a problem. Periodic maintenance, preventive maintenance, very important with cars like this. So why do I love to hate the Waja? Well, I love driving it, but I hate what Proton did when it came to the actual components, like this. Sorry, I thought my seatbelt was faulty. Why, like this glove box that has been stuck from day one on one side. I mean, these are simple things. How can you F up a glove box? This is something that's been in cars for like centuries. Okay, as long as cars have been around, I'm pretty sure they get glove boxes. How can you mess up a glove box? And then when it finally opens, and then when you close it, it's like hanging on one side. I mean, like, come on, it's a glove box. It's like screwing up a peanut butter sandwich. How do you screw up a peanut butter sandwich? So there you go. It's these small things. And you know, when I was working for Leo Burnett Advertising, and even Saatchi and Saatchi later on, and Ogilvy as well. Did I work for Ogilvy? No, Saatchi and Saatchi, sorry. I think I did. Anyway, oh yeah. Sorry. Yes, I did for a little while, and then they fired me. But never mind, that's a different story. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, one of the things that I learned at Leo Burnett Advertising is that clients will not necessarily fire you or call for an agency review for a big screw up. Okay, if it's a big screw up, you're kind of safe because everybody makes mistakes. But it's the small screw ups that continue to happen day after day, week after week, month after month. The small screw ups that you do, that's going to cause you to get fired. That's going to cause you to get an agency review. And yes, it's happened. It's absolutely happened. A client will not usually fire an agency or get rid of an agency for one big mess up, because everybody messes up. We're only human, okay? But it's the small things, the lack of attention to detail, that's going to eventually bite you in the butt. And it's going to cause you to have a review, and somebody else is going to get your client easily. I mean, hey, it's just business. So it's the same thing with the Waja. There's a Waja there with one of the brake lights not working. So you see, it's these small things. And that was a Saga there, and everything's working. First generation Saga, okay? So it's the small things in this car that really bug me. And I really hate the fact that they could have done such a much better job on this car than actually what they came up with, really, because it's a very nice car to drive. Look, I'm cruising at comfortable speeds, and the NVH is still good, the engine is still silent, the gearbox still changes gears nicely. I can downshift if I wanted to slow down the car using engine braking. But then the gear stock, which I'm sure is a Proton edition, it's every time I change gear, it's like, I'll let you hear it, okay? I put the neutral for a while, okay? Then I go back. It's like so plasticky. It's, yeah. So, you know, other than that, everything works on this car. All the lights work, all the power windows work. I think I had to change one power window motor. I think it was the passenger side one. But they just could have done so much better with this car. Really, a little bit more effort. But you know what? It all boiled down to the dollars and cents. Yeah, they wanted to keep the price down, so they dumbed down in terms of the interior components. Now, this car is totally stock, except for very recently, I think you saw it on my Instagram, I gave it a new set of 16-inch alloy wheels because the 15s had been on the car for 15 years, and I figured it was time for this car to have a little bit of bling. So I upgraded to 16-inch, and they've been wonderful, really. There's no difference in ride and handling. It still rides and handles the same way it was like it did before. There's no drop in power. It's just an inch up, so you know, that's why I didn't feel any difference whatsoever. If anything, it actually feels a bit more comfortable. Weird, right? But yeah. So anyway, completely stock standard, but the interior was so drab. It's like this side was designed by one person and that side was designed by somebody else. So I bought these silver inserts, which you can see in my previous video. Yeah, put those in as well, just to alleviate some of this monotony, some of this boredom which this interior was. But the thing that got me the most, really, was that they dared say that this was Asia's answer to the BMW 3 Series. Like, what? Seriously? I've had the 3 Series. I've had the both. I've had an E30 and an E36. This is nowhere near the build quality of the 3 Series. So get real, okay? Now, I know a lot of Waja fans out there, they love their cars. I'm not saying you've bought a bad car, all right? Far be it from me to say that. This was not given, yeah? This car was bought, okay? It's fully paid up, but it was bought. It was not given to me by anyone. So I'm experiencing everything you are experiencing, and if you come and tell me, my Waja is perfect, I'm gonna straight up call you out on that, because it is not. It is not, and I still stand by that. There was some very good comments in the previous video. There was some totally hateful comments with, you know, a lot of name calling which got deleted. I will not stand for insults. I mean, don't call me names, okay? Put up a logical argument and let's have a discussion, okay? Don't straight up come and call me names. Why? So I don't hate this car, okay? I actually like this car very much. It's still... Yeah, 1.6. It's still an amazing car to drive. After 15 years, the ride and handling is still excellent. The acceleration is still amazing. You want to decelerate, even though it's an auto. I love driving this car. So no, I don't hate this car. I hate the fact that they said it was Asia's answer to BMW. I hate the fact that they chose the lowest bidder to get all the components for the inside. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious that that's exactly what they did to try and keep costs down. And that is what pisses me off. That is what I don't like. That is why I hate the Proton Waja. But actually, I love it. I do. I love driving it. I hate what they did to it. I hate that they could have done so much better, but they chose to save money and to bring the price down, to go with the lowest bidder. 10 people come, they take the lowest bidder, and who suffers for it? We do, really. It has been an ongoing battle, I kid you not, to keep this car from falling apart. But I will keep it from falling apart. I will keep doing it up. I will keep maintaining it, because it is a very nice car to drive. And if you have one, you know, more power to you, really, because you've got yourself a very, very nice car, and they are cheap now. There are Wajas going for like 3.5, 4 grand. So you can get yourself actually a car that drives really well. And if you get something like this, owned by somebody like this, you're very lucky, because it's going to be well taken care of. And you just have to continue the traditional, continue the challenge of keeping your Waja from falling apart, really. Because this is a very, very nice car to drive. I love it, and I absolutely hate it. So there you go, 50-50. Anyway, I just wanted to clear up the air about that. You know, I don't hate the Proton Waja, okay? I love driving it. I hate what was done to it. I hate the fact that it could have been so much better, but it's not. So I personally am trying to make it better by myself. So there you go. Anyway, you all take care. I gotta go find some food. I think it's late. Yeah, bye.